So year to date through the end of the third quarter, the S&P 500 was down about 24%. And the more growth-oriented NASDAQ index was down a little bit over 30%. So we've obviously seen quite a reversal in direction over what we experienced in the immediate wake of the pandemic. One of the things that you can draw some comfort from is the fact that we have a very risk-averse approach. All of our companies have very strong balance sheets. Rising interest rates don't necessarily affect their margins because they don't have much debt to begin with. They're strong cash flow generating companies, companies generally at attractive valuations, and companies that have a history of management integrity and management competence in running their businesses over a long period of time.
The third quarter of 2022 saw exacerbated fiscal threats brought about by pervasive high inflation, energy supply constraints, and ever-increasing debts and deficits among the world economies. The reversal of central bank accommodative measures, along with higher rates, increased volatility and are bringing about tighter financial conditions, introducing headwinds that we haven't seen in years. It's very likely that investment assets will continue to experience volatility, and as such, we have positioned our funds to be very defensive and to try to protect investors against the volatility that we see going forward. The Sustainable Bond Fund has maintained a very short duration relative to its index. Duration is around 3.3 years versus the index duration, which is closer to 6.8 years. This means that it's been much less vulnerable to the interest rate volatility that we've seen in the market. Currently, the portfolio has a total exposure to foreign currency of around 17.5%, down from almost 28% in the first quarter of the year. We view the US dollar as continuing to be strong relative to other currencies in the near future.
As we enter Q4 2022, we see a very risky geopolitical landscape worldwide. The way that Saturna Sustainable Funds helps investors weather these storms is by choosing companies with very solid balance sheets and a long-term perspective. We're also divesting of those companies that we feel either have lost their way or won't make it through these times unharmed. While the world observes the shocks of geopolitical conflict in Europe and in Taiwan and China, and the shock of interest rate increases across the globe, we at Saturna are continuing to invest these funds in the ways we think will be most beneficial for share owners.
Performance data quoted herein represents past performance and is no guarantee of future results. Investment return and principal value of an investment will fluctuate so that an investor's shares, when redeemed, may be worth more or less than their original cost. Current performance may be significantly higher or lower than data quoted herein. Performance current to the most recent month end can be obtained by visiting saturnasustainable.com or by calling toll-free 1-800-728-8762. Please consider an investment's objectives, risks, charges, and expenses carefully before investing. To obtain this and other important information, which you should carefully consider before investing, about the Saturna Sustainable Funds in a free prospectus or summary prospectus, please visit saturnasustainable.com or call 1-800-728-8762.